Hello there YouTube, my name is Adam from Gunjack, and I'm here today with a review of the Tactical Force MP7. The Tactical Force MP7 and the Well R4 MP7 are one and the same. They're just made by different people. So let's go ahead and get started to review. There are a few things on this gun that are metal. That is being the rails on either side, the flash hider, the trigger, fire selector switch, bolt release, top rail, sights, and let's see, the stock release button. They are all metal. Everything else that you see on this gun is ABS plastic, and I think it's fairly sturdy ABS plastic, but I wouldn't go throwing this at trees. But I think, you know, you drop it and I think you'll be okay. So start from the front here. In order to access the battery compartment, there's a little button on the bottom here. Just need to push in, and this front assembly comes off, and there's the battery. The battery is a 7.2 volt MP7 styled AEP battery, and to install it, simply make sure the arrow is pointing up, push it in, and put the assembly back on it, and your battery is good to go. It's installed. There are sling mounts on either side right here and also back here, but if the camera can tell, that's not a camera trick. This side actually is larger than this side because I wanted a sling that you know, they physically would not fit over here. So what I did, I took a flathead screwdriver and bored into these to make the holes wider. If you wanted to do that, you can be my guest, but that may void your warranty if you have one. So yeah, these rails are metal. You can put anything on it that you want to, even this ridiculously large tech box. I might just do that just for fun. I mean, just look at that. This thing is monstrous. I might just put it on the top. Why not? But yeah, you can mount anything. You know, flashlight, laser setup, even an external, even a PEC if you want to. Foregrip is plastic, and it is, if you can see, it's very slimline. It's very comfortable, very ergonomic. I love this foregrip. You know, it's extremely comfortable, the aim with and everything else, and it's just held in by friction right here. You don't have to pull anything down and unlock it. You just pull it down and it's deployed. The sights up here are metal, as are this rail right here, like I mentioned earlier. But these sights, these are the standard pistol sights that you may see on most MP7s. However, if you don't like those, you can switch them to rifle sights. You know, ring in the back, post in the front. They are also adjustable right here with this knob for windage, and on here on the sight you can twist this for elevation. I personally prefer the pistol sights, but again, it's up to you. This gun does have some trades on it. It's got Tactical Force on either side. Actually, on just one side, excuse me. Right here it says caliber 6mm BB. This is what I meant to say. Tactical Force listed right here and on the opposite side of the mag well. On here it says TF7, and on both sides it says it's got the fire selection. And right here it says, warning, not a gun, don't terrorize people. So got it for that. The bolt release on this gun, even though it's metal, it doesn't do anything. There's no function to it. The bolt doesn't lock. It's just kind of there. It's kind of fun to play with, but it really doesn't serve any purpose. The trigger is a two-stage trigger. No, it's not a two-stage trigger. Scratch that. It's a double safety trigger. That's what I meant to say. Like what you would see on Glocks. If you push the side, go ahead and take this off safe just so you can see. If you push the side of the trigger, it will not shoot, but if you put it in the center, it does fire. You can select from safe, and also on safety it doesn't, so that's good. Safe, semi-automatic, and fully automatic. And that about, it's pretty simplistic fire selector switch. It clicks into place very well. Magazine release is what you would see like on USPs and Walthers. It's just little lever right here. Do that. Now, if you have one of these short magazines in it, then it'll just fall out. But if you have this one in it, I actually have to pull it out. And I had to tape it up a little bit so that it would actually fit in this magazine well, because without the tape it would literally fall out, so I had to tape it on there. And also, if I'm not mistaken, this kind of magazine is not included with the Will R4. It may be with the Tactical Force. I don't think it is either. I bought this off of e-bike separately. This is an actual Tokyo Marui magazine, so any Tokyo Marui compatible magazine will work with this gun. You know, whether it be mid caps, low caps, high caps, what have you. As long as it's not a gas magazine, obviously. To adjust the hop-up, simply pull back here, and the hop-up window will open. It's a wheel-based hop-up, kind of like what you would see on an M4. And also, I'm pretty sure that you actually need to pull this back and hold it if it's stock, but I got this in a trade and I don't know what happened, so it just kind of stays there. I don't know if that's supposed to happen or not. The stock is probably one of the weakest points on the gun, unfortunately, but it's, you know, it's still pretty sturdy, even though it wobbles a lot. And one thing you may have heard about this AEP is that if you wobble it enough, the stock will just come out, and it's true. If you can find a way to modify it so that it actually locks into place, I'd highly recommend doing so. Because, you know, that's, you're aiming down and you adjust your shoulder a little bit, and then you go from being here to being here. It's going to throw you off a little bit. But I can see this as being a shorthand. If you don't want to pull that, even though it's really simple, you can just wiggle it a little bit and it'll come right out. To put the stock back in, simply, if it's in a lock position, simply push this and push the stock back in. This is a very compact weapon. It's an AEP, you know, that you can't fit a full-size gearbox inside an MP7. It's very fitting for a PDW role. Whether you wanted to use this as a secondary in woodland or a primary in C2B, I can see you doing both, because it has a very, very respectable rate of fire and a somewhat low feet per second. So I can see you taking this into either area, either as a secondary or primary, very easily. And also with just how compact it is. With this being its, you know, its completely compact base, and then you extend everything, and this being its fully deployed, you know, look, you know, it's still really compact just by this, and it's extremely comfortable to shoulder and aim with. It's just so ergonomic. I love the MP7. It's great. And the TF, well, they do it some justice. Although I would say KWA would be higher quality, but that's not an AEP. If you do want the best MP7 AEP that you can get out there, spring for a Tokyo Marui, no questions asked. These things will not be able to compare to a TM, no way. But if you're a budget softer like me, you have $100 laying around and you're a big fan of the MP7, you should definitely go on ahead and just pick one up. You know, it's really good. It's really good for the price that you're getting. You are getting what you pay for, and I definitely recommend picking one up if you can. Out of 10, I would give it a 7.4. You know, simply because it does have some shortcomings. There's so much plastic on the gun, and because of the stock, but everything else is still pretty good. Rate of fire, FPS, everything. So, this has been Adam from Gunjack, and for airsofters out there, stay from.